everyone. Yeah, so I just want to get some things off my mind here. I was watching some things put out by Wayne Daniels, targeted individual for gang stalking, and it really made me think, it really made me connect to my experience I had that day. Now, I know I figured out that they do like getting attention because of the smug looks they get, or when they keep doing it when you notice them and they like getting a little charge off of like what they're doing. Cause you can tell. I mean, if you're going through this, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever. So, anyways, my experience yesterday, and I'll go into like Wayne Daniels and whatnot. So my experience yesterday was I get in the break room, the boss comes out, and it's like red hoodie, whatever, who cares? And then I guess he had a coffee on the table. I didn't know it was his because I just walked in, and I was sitting kind of by it, but not really. And he's like, "Oh," joking around, you know. They joke. He sometimes jokes around, but tries to get his message through joking around. And he's like, "Oh, oh, you trying to take my coffee or do something to my coffee?" And he's like, "This, they do that. I do that to them now too. Fuck them." Anyway, so he does that, and then he's like, and then I just start laughing because sometimes I find it funny. It just depends on my mood, and so I kind of laugh it off. And I said some things like, "Yeah," because when he did that, and one of the people on the couch in the break room saw me laugh. She got all excited that I had acknowledged this thing. I'm like, dude, it's been like 2 years they've been doing this shit. At least in my work environment. And then, and then later that day, I had a kid. Well, I had there's some people waiting in line. I'm stocking up ANCAP, and like some there's some people in line, and I walk by. Right when I walk by, the guy whistles a little bit, doo doo doo. Right when I walk by, and then not too long after, like I'm laughing with someone, and the guy that did he looks pissed off that I'm laughing, and then not at his whistling, at someone else said something and I was joking around or something, whatever. I try to keep it light even though I have a shitty situation there. And then there's this kid, this father and his kid that walk into the aisle, and they walk into the aisle, so you make sure that they can get in the aisle, and I move away or something, I don't know, but somehow I saw the kid, and he lets out a whistle, one whistle, and I looked in his eyes, and I was like, in my mental sphere, I was like, "Are you doing this on purpose? What are you doing?" And then I looked at the dad, because when kids do it, especially young kids that do it, the parents put them up to it. Unless you're going like, I'm putting all spiritual stuff aside, like not spiritual, but like religious entity stuff. I'm talking about actual people doing this stuff. The parents put them up to it. Man, I looked at the dad, and he looked guilty. So not much going on there. Because in my mental sphere, it's like, did you really have your kid do that? But on that, I didn't keep it too long of a stare, but I did kind of give them eye contact. I couldn't just be saying, well, I'm just saw them in the aisle, whatever. But anyways, and then and they tried doing the whistling thing to get my attention. I ignored it. When the guy that usually whistles in the break room starts snapping, because sometimes they snap, he started snapping. I guess he wants to make that the new thing or whatever. And then at the end, when I'm going to check out, I've already clocked out, I'm buying something. The person in the line, some older woman, she turns around, like she's in the line. I don't know this woman. And she turns to me, gives me eye contact, looks at me for a while, and starts whistling a little ditty, and then stops. And then I start humming and stuff. And I'm watching her as I'm humming right after she does that. And she tends to it looks like a mixture of like, oh, I'm glad ooh, I'm kind of happy I got the attention. But then it kind of awkward too, like, I don't know, I'm not sure, but there was some kind of wanting to get attention validated there, I believe. Not so much with the kid, with the dad. I'm not sure. But that was definitely, the one in line was definitely when she turned around, went out of her way to look at me. Like, look at me and then do the whistling. So that's odd. Like, that's not normal behavior. People don't normally do that, especially to strangers. That's really awkward behavior. And luckily, this time when I told my boyfriend that, he's like, yeah, that is awkward behavior. You should have called her on it. I'm like, well, she's a customer. But technically, that's off the clock, so I guess I could have called her on it. Because I've gotten better at calling out stupid employees when they do that. And now they're doing this thing. One of the employees that I suspected doing it. Because another thing is this. I think it has to do with when I was doing research on ISIS and stuff. And like some like... Anyways... So, obviously, I'm not a fan of ISIS. If that was, like, a fucking question, obviously not. But there was an issue there. Like, I was looking at seeing some weird shit in politics and progressive politics and, like, in connection to ISIS. Anyway, so I made some comments online, whatever. And I'm going to do a video on this because this deserves a video. Anyway, so some of them do this now. Anyways, and they call me Trouble. So now another employee that was doing this is now calling me Trouble, a recipe for trouble. Dude, I never even been written up. What the fuck ever. Like, how am I trouble? You guys are instigating. You know you're instigating. You got people who admittedly, like, shoot up in the fucking workplace, and I'm trouble. Okay, alright, whatever. Well, I'm trouble because I'm not shooting up? Is that the problem? Anyways, probably some MK Ultra stuff, you know, with drugs. You know how they like to play with drugs and shit. Whatever. Anyways, so going back to Wayne Daniels, they definitely do want to respond. So you can tell, like, I've seen people watching me, like, out of my periphery. You can see certain people watching you. Not all the time, but it does happen. And it's like, why isn't this person doing their job? Why are they watching me? I'm doing my job, you know? It's really ridiculous. These people are losers. And the woman that was whistling, man, I think I'd like look back at it, and she was like this older woman. And you think older people would get a clue, but they've been on this earth long enough to like develop some kind of sense of maturity. But obviously not. But she... And looking back, I'm like, man, she's a sorry old woman. I'm sorry. Not all older people are wise. Some are. She obviously wasn't. I mean, she was like maybe 60s, maybe, I don't know. I can't tell. But she was like older than middle-aged, younger than elderly. And, you know, her face looked a mess. And I'm not saying I'm a gorgeous queen or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, she looked a mess. And she's trying to get a rise out of me. You know? Whatever. This is so stupid. It's just so stupid and dumb. And immature. But yeah, Wayne Daniels is right. They are trying to get a rise out of you. They are trying to get you to do something. It's just so stupid. I mean, they're playing with fire. Don't they know? Like, it's because they want some people to snap. Don't the people doing this know that that's, like, dangerous for them? I'm kind of confused. But anyways, definitely don't let them have your attention. Although sometimes if you feed them attention and then you take it away... makes it worse for them. I like seeing them suffer. They like seeing me suffer. And I haven't even done anything. I haven't done anything wrong. They think I've done something wrong. Or I didn't share their belief system, or their propaganda didn't get to me. Or I question things, and I've been outspoken online many times, or I keep to myself, or I haven't engaged in anyone, I haven't, like, whatever the situation is. There's so many reasons. I'm going to get in, like, to a video of the many reasons why I think of being Gangstalk. Like, you know, we all have, like, multiple reasons why we think we targeted, or where it goes back to. But anyways, I'll do a separate video on that. I just wanted to talk, because I'm feeling it this morning. Like, I kind of got up and, like, I'm feeling it this morning. And I just want to get out there. And it was really crazy because, like, I go on and Wayne Daniels' videos, like, oh, yeah, they were new. And they really resonated with that day. Because, yeah, people are trying to get your attention. And if you can, the more you can pull away, because he talks about it in this video, the more you can pull away and keep your mind from engaging in it, the better your psyche is. Also, too, with the mind hacking, if you want to think of, this is another, like, realm of, like, the Matrix thing. If you want to think about it this way, your mind, they're trying to get into your mind to kind of alter your reality. They want to get you to do something, but also to get you to think a certain way. You know, so they're mind hacking you in that way to control you. And control your reality, what you see, what you perceive, because they're all altering your perception so that you see certain things that may not be there. Like what I'm saying by may not be there, it's like not everyone in red is out to get you, not everyone whistling is out to get you, but you see it that way because so many people are mobbing you at a time to get you to see that. They want you to perceive, have that perception so that your reality mirrors that. You know what I'm saying? There's that element to it. But yeah, like the more you can pull away and detach and take that connection, if you can do like some psychic visualizations like the psyche, like visualize cutting those cords, right? Pulling inward, taking that connection away, not feeding them, you know? Anyways, I'm going to do other videos on this. I just wanted to get this out. And I really wanted to clarify. I mean, I think if you know what's going on, and you've been in the system long enough, you know that they like attention because they're losers. Have you seen some of these people? I mean, some of them can be attractive. They get attractive ones to mess with you for certain reasons, obviously. But then you get like the real losery ones, like the low-life ones, the ones that look like they just pulled themselves out of the gutter. I'm not trying to be mean. I guess they offer them free food or free whatever they offer them. Or whatever they tell them. But I'm like, this is so stupid. I'll do some other videos later on. I want to get into more clarity of... I have a lot of videos on this. Like, I have so much to say about this. It's been a while. It's been at least 2 years on the job with this, and probably more. There's some other experiences I want to talk about before that. They're probably related, so it probably goes further. I thought at first it was just job stuff. So I think it's different. I think it is obviously something much higher than that. Because how could so many people just decide to do this? How could you get so many people to be in on this? Why? How? It has to be someone with some authority. Or claiming to have authority. That these people just would, okay, we'll do whatever you want. You know. But anyways, definitely Wayne Daniels had some jewels about, like, you know, what he was saying about not giving them your energy and your focus, because really that's giving them too much. And they want to be in your mental sphere. They want to have, if you look at it from a psychic vampire perspective, they're taking up space in your mind. You're giving them, you're feeding them your mental, some of your mental stuff. And you don't want to really get them in there. And sometimes, like, even when you fight back too, sometimes in a way, like I was humming, and it still kind of got in the mental sphere, so I'm still feeding her in a way, which is not cool. I mean, and sometimes you do what you do, and you feel in the moment, because you approach it differently from moment to moment, like how you respond, just never respond violently. Because that, of course, we've learned that they want that, because we're like, this is really weird, I'm feeling this certain way, and they're provoking, but they keep provoking me, and they provoke me when they shouldn't, like when they should know that that's wrong, right? When you've had a misfortune and they keep doing it, or you're in a bad space and they keep doing it. Like, that's some fucked up shit. I have some more videos on this. I want to get into all sorts of aspects of this, and also with the kids as well, because I've seen some really weird shit with parents having their kids do things. Not always, but sometimes. And I'm not saying it's always the case. There's just some weird stuff. And I want to clarify if this is just normal behavior or if this is if parents are getting their kids on it. Because we do know that they do that stuff. And that's child abuse, by the way. I mean, that's fucked up, having your kid do that. You know? Anyways, so... yeah, this is an early morning thing. I gotta get ready and do stuff, but... I just thought I'd engage, and yeah, don't give them your attention, don't give them your time. And if you're able to disconnect, like, if you respond, but be disconnected when you respond, that's the only way. But anyway, so, I'll catch y'all later, stay strong, and just be in your peace, be in yourself, just stay strong.